Hey guys, my name's Gary, grateful recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I was sitting here and thinking I've got to make a video and I'll pick a step on what to make a video on, and I haven't even picked a step yet. So I'm going to pick one right now. Let's see. What step can I do? How about step 3? Step 3, made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand Him. Okay, so what does that look like for me every day? So it's basically turning my will and my life over to God. My will as an alcoholic and a drug addict is, I used to always think I was put on this earth to party, man. I mean, when I was young, I used to think, man, I love partying so much. Like the first time I did alcohol, I couldn't wait to do it again. The first time I did cocaine, I was like, why can't I always feel this way? I want to feel this way as much as humanly possible. As much as humanly possible, I want to try to feel this way. And I chased that feeling until it was just too much, until I was killing myself with it. And I've had relapses through the course of my life, but my last one, I had 10 years sober, and I was out the last 10 years. And I've got 21 months sober yesterday. So happy 21 months to me. And I give all the credit to the man upstairs, man. All the credit goes to God, because I was praying to God, God, please, God, get me sober. Please help make me willing, just to try to be willing to try to get sober. And I couldn't do it. And whenever I could remember, I would pray that prayer. As simple as it is, I would pray that prayer. Usually when I was feeling really shitty, and the day came when I got COVID, and I was sick for like 5 days, and then I was like, holy shit, after I was down in bed for like 5 days, and I was like, holy shit, I've been sober 5 days. I'm going to try to run with this. And I ran with it. I've started going to meetings. Meetings is key, and the steps are key. Okay. Now I'm preaching meetings. My buddy was telling me this morning, dude, you need to go to more meetings, because I haven't been to a meeting in 3 weeks. Shame on me though. But especially in the very beginning, man, I mean, there's no good excuse that I haven't been to meetings. I'm going to actually make myself accountable. I'll go to a meeting in the next 24 hours and check in. But step 3, make a decision to turn my will and my life over to God. And what does that look like for me? Well, like I said, I thought I was put on this earth to just party. And then after almost killing myself, I got sober. And so I wake up now and I go to bed in prayer. So I go to sleep in prayer, and I get up in prayer. And turning my will and my life over to the care of God, that step 3, they made a special prayer for step 3, which is, God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, so that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, so that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help with thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. It's a beautiful prayer. It's basically saying, take away my difficulties, my self-centeredness, right? My fear, my pride, that, we have healthy pride, where we take a shower, we brush our teeth, and, most of us comb our hair. I didn't today. But, so we have that healthy pride, but then we've got that unhealthy pride, man. Like it took me about 3 days to get over something. Somebody really jacked me around, and I lost about a week's pay because of it. And it was an honest mistake. And I just hated this son of a bitch right when it happened. I was like, that motherfucker, he screwed me, and how dare he do this, and how dare he do that. But when I think about it, when I thought about it, it was unintentional, right? My pride wanted to get the best of me. So in those 3 days, it was getting up, going, God, please Please remove this anger from me. Please make me see this from a completely different point of view, not such a self-centered point of view. When I could realize that this guy didn't intend to do any harm to me, right? That he was under pressure and he made a mistake, right? I realized that, and I thought, look at all the mistakes you've made in your life. Cut the guy some slack and just forget about it. You know what? It was gone after that. Now, I don't come to that on my own. Like, after being that angry, I usually have to do some talking, some praying, talking to people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, which is trying to stay sober a day at a time. And I talk to these people on a daily basis, and we talk about God. We talk about things like, man, it was just an honest mistake. That starts out with, this guy fucked me, he screwed me, I lost a week's worth of pay, he set me back a whole week, and then it ends up with me, praying for the guy. He knows he screwed up. He doesn't need to hear about it from me. And I bumped into him a couple times yesterday and never said a word. I said, good morning. And he just looked down at the floor. He was too ashamed to look at me. He knew he screwed up, and he was too afraid or too ashamed to look me in the eye, which was fine. I mean, he wasn't angry, and he's not a bad guy. So I forgave him. Forgiveness. So that's what a step 3 would look like to me. I'm seeking God. I'm asking him to take away my difficulties and help me be a better person, so I could be an example to those, to other people, so that I could help other people, right? And maybe somebody will get help from this video, maybe not, but I don't get a lot of play on these videos. I get a lot of play on the shorts, but not on these longer videos. So I want to talk about another thing, fentanyl, because everybody who watches knows that fentanyl took my son's life, September 20th of 2022. It was an accidental fentanyl overdose. I think they're all accidental, aren't they? Nobody goes, yeah, I think I'm going to kill myself with fentanyl today. But we lost 110,000 people in 2022. We lost, I don't even think they finished totaling 2023, but we lost about the same amount of people in 2023, and it's a pandemic in itself. It's made in China, shipped to the cartel in Mexico, where they press it into pills. They disguise it to look like other things, to look like Xanax and Adderall and the shit our kids like to play with on the streets. When the lady called me from the Long Beach coroner's office, she told me, when my son had passed away, she told me that they were calling in a batch of fentanyl, went out in Long Beach, and they were calling in bodies every 8 minutes within a mile or 2 mile radius. I don't remember if it was a mile or 2 miles. But see, she said she was so busy, they were calling dead bodies in every 8 minutes. It's a pandemic, you guys, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. The best way that you could protect yourself and your family against fentanyl is to become aware of it, aware of the magnitude of it. When you think of 110,000 people, I mean, we had the Vietnam War, which was a nasty war, right? And it took like 50,000 Americans' lives. That was over the course of like 10 years. So look at what fentanyl's done in the last, since Biden's been president, it's going to be, once he finishes his term, it's going to take out like 300,000 or 400,000 people, just in his term. So, and that, having that wide open border doesn't help that. So it actually, it magnifies the problem. So we've got to get some kind of grip on it here. It's, the main thing is to become fentanyl aware. And if you're using fentanyl on a daily basis, man, you're playing Russian roulette. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. When are you going to take that lethal dose? When is your mother going to walk into the bedroom and see her child laying there pale and cold, dead? You know, if you're buying street drugs, not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When are you going to take that lethal dose? When are you going to close your eyes and never wake up? So there is help out there. And I'm here to tell you, I'm as hardcore of drug addict as you can get, man. And I've been sober 21 months. And it's definitely the new way to live for me. I wouldn't trade my life for that life at all. I am so glad I escaped that, because I know the magnitude of what fentanyl's doing. I got out of it 21 months ago, and 21 months ago, fentanyl was roaring like it is now. And there's new drugs out there like Trank, which is a horse tranquilizer, and it just eats your skin, it eats your flesh. And people are doing that stuff, and they're getting infections. They've got infections and sores all over their arms, you know, all over their bodies. And they're dying from that. They're just dying from open wounds, living on the streets. You know, just be very careful, you guys. There is help. So the way you find help is, well, if you're lucky enough, if your family's got money, go to a rehab. That's the fucking coolest way to go get sober, right? You go into a rehab, you know, you're 30 pounds underweight and you come out 20 pounds overweight. You know, you meet a lot of cool people and you learn a different way of life in a controlled environment. There's another way, the way I got sober: prayer. Pray your ass off. God, please, if you don't believe in God, try it. Try it and don't give up. And then you watch little miracles start happening in your life to push you in that direction. Mine was a big miracle. You know, it was a big miracle that happened, and I ran with it. I knew I had been around long enough to know, hey, this isn't going to happen. 5 days, man, I could never get a day. I got sick for 5 days and I ran with it. So, and I've been sober ever since, and I hopefully they bury me sober and I can live the rest of my life out sober. So, yeah, be careful, guys. The other way to get sober, and I would say, and this is also what I did, was as soon as I realized I had 5 days sober, I knew I was going back to AA. And I got back into AA. AA, NA, it's the same thing, right? You're working 12 steps, you're going to meetings. I would, if you don't have a job, go to 3 meetings a day. You're going to get sober there. You're going to meet people that you like, you know? Look for the similarities, not the differences. Because if you look for the differences, you're going to judge your way right out of there and go, this place fucking sucks. A lot of people do. I did it. I was like, I can't stand this place, man. I didn't want to be there. Nobody wants to be in an AA meeting. Go until you like it. Go until you like it. So, till next time, you guys, stay safe, stay sober.